My name is Sead Hasic. My sobriety date's August 25th of 2014. I've been sober 5+ years. I'm 30 years old. I tried getting sober a bunch of different places. It's frowned upon to sell drugs at institutions and facilities, so I was known to be getting discharged very frequently. So July 2014, I was at another facility called Crossroads East. I was there for a couple weeks, and the alcoholic insanity had returned in the form of I could not use drugs, but I could sell drugs. And what better place to sell drugs than a treatment facility? And it sounds like super cliche, but it was just my experience, and I mean, I have nothing to relate with but my experience. So I started selling drugs at Crossroads East, and without fail, like 4 days into this event, I found myself nodding out in a bowl of cereal, like, how the fuck did this happen? And a couple weeks down the road, I'm, asleep in my bed in the MRU, the middle room upstairs at Crossroads, and I get a knock on the door, and this guy named Greg Halverson, he walks in, man, and he's like, "Hey, Sead, I need to talk to you." And I'm like, "All right, Greg, let me just brush my teeth and wash my face. I'll be right down there." And in my mind, I'm so fucking delusional and strung out. Like, he's gonna give me a job offer. I'm so fucking excited. I'm gonna change this place around. They need me. I know what I'm doing. I've been in and out of sober living so fucking long. I know everyone that's getting high here, so I'm gonna clean house. And I go downstairs, and he's like, "Hey, shut the door behind you." And I was like, "Oh my God, he's gonna fucking give me a big job offer. Like, this is gonna be a nice salary." And I sit down, and he says, "I'm gonna give you 20 minutes to pack your shit and get the fuck off this property, man. You're a cancer to the recovery here, and I'm not gonna watch you kill yourself or other people anymore." I remember my heart dropped, because the gig was up again, and so, like any good drug addict, I called my non-drug addict girlfriend to come pick me up and let me go stay with her at her house, and so, God's working in my life pretty tremendously at this point. So a week prior to this whole event, my girlfriend came to a recovery meeting at this facility, and I wanted her to see me pick up my dirty ass 60-day chip so she knows how good I'm doing. And my sponsor, Eddie Rivera, at the time, slid over his phone number to her and said, "You're gonna need this." And I remember thinking, like, that was fucking weird. You know what I mean? And thank God he did, man. So strung out again, walking around the house with a gun in my hand. And she calls him, and she says, "I don't know what to do with Sead. He's gonna fucking kill himself." And he gets on the phone with me, and he says, and mind you, so Eddie Rivera is this little New Yorker dude. He's probably like 5 foot tall. I'm 6'4". I mean, you can't probably tell from me sitting here, but I'm 6'4". He's 5 foot, and he calls me little buddy. And he's like, "Hey, little buddy, what the fuck's going on over there?" And I'm like, "Dude, I'm fucking high, man. What do you think's going on, dude? I can't stay sober." And he said, "Do you want to be sober?" And like, I did want to be sober, like fundamentally, intuitively. I wanted to be sober, but I couldn't stay sober. And I said yes, which was like a partial lie. And he's like, "Cool, I want you to go to Banner Thunderbird Hospital. They have a great detox there." And thank God, man, a couple minutes later, this is all from just medical records. I overdosed, got Narcan at some point in the back, came to, told the doctor that I couldn't stay sober, and I wanted to die when I was sober, just because of how physically unbearable it was. And he put me on a 72-hour psych hold. And thank God he did, man. And I called the Hope House, because I had been to a meeting there before, man, and there's a guy named Jerry that I talked to a couple of times, man. He was always super fucking nice to me, dude. Like, always nice to me, like genuinely, would be like, "How are you?" And like, I could tell when he would ask, like, it wasn't from a place of like judgment, man. Like, he cared. And I called that place, man, and I went down there, and I sat down in his office, and the first thing out of his mouth was, "I don't think your hip slick are cool." He said, "You're gonna get a job. You're gonna be here by 9 o'clock at night. You're gonna get a sponsor. You're gonna go to a meeting of your choice. You're gonna work the 12 steps around whichever fellowship you choose, and you're gonna help other men by the time you leave here." And again, I lied and said okay, but the only difference was is I said okay and actually did it because God intervened or something magical happened. I don't really know. It's like a miracle bus. Dude, this bus has been coming through my life for years and years and years, and I'd get on it and get off it and get on it and get off it and get on it and get off it, and this time I got on it and I'm still on it. And I mean, I really don't know what else to say. Like, I'm coming up on an anniversary really quick here, man. My life's super fucking good, dude. I've got solid friends. I've got children. I own a business. My wife knows who she's married to. There's no like secrecy in our marriage. Everything's fucking sacred, and it's just beautiful, man. But hijacked someone's life, and I'm not giving it back. I think the biggest people that impacted my recovery early on, there's three that stick out. And the first one's Les Roy. He's the sponsor in my recovery community, and he's become like a father to me, man. He walked me through getting custody over my niece when my sister got incarcerated, to he got ordained and married my wife and I. Our kids play together now. He was there listening to my, most darkest of times to now where like we plan like outings with the kids, man, and he taught me how to be a man. Elijah Torres, he's my 10-step partner. He has been since I got sober. And I think the biggest reason he's been so beneficial and influential to me, man, is no matter how close of friends we've ever become, man, he's never co-signed any of my bullshit. He'll sit there and tell me my feelings are okay that I'm feeling that way, but he'll call me out when I'm acting fucking stupid, and I need that. And not just because you're here, man, but you for sure. I can't tell you how many times you and I have talked. And Estelle Wallace, that's the third guy. Sorry, you guys can't see the camera, but Estelle Wallace. I remember talking to him when I was high, man. I couldn't stay sober. And to you, talking about you like you're third person, like you're not here, talking to you when I was high and I couldn't stay sober. I remember when you moved overseas and you called me just to check on me because I kept crossing your mind and you knew I couldn't stay sober, and at that point I was picking up a year. And dudes like that, man, I get emotional now just because like I never thought I'd be able to live a life like this, to be honest with you. If you're struggling and you're wanting to get help, reach out for help. I mean, I don't have any profound thing to say, man, is reach out for help. And my experience isn't like everyone else's. There's a lot of relapse in my story, man, and I think the only thing I've done perfectly was I never gave up. I'd never gave up hope. I saw people stay sober and I just kept fucking trying, and eventually something happened. The message stuck, I stay sober, and everyone's life around me has been affected for the greater good. So reach out. Like right now is a fucked up time with coronavirus and everything. If you're watching this in the future, it's 2020. It's August 14th. There's a world pandemic that's going around. Meetings are illegal. You have to wear a mask to go outside. There was at one point a curfew, so that's what we're dealing with, and also trying to help people get sober. So reach out, man. It's a difficult time, man. Find a meeting. Find a meeting of a fellowship of your choice and ask for help there.